Hey guys, what's happening? I hope everybody had a great day in the market. I know for me, the first good day in this week, this week was utterly forgettable until today. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I want to share this quote with you guys. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful places. Now, the most beautiful places in the world, it's going to take a little struggle to get there. The goals that you have for yourself, the dreams that you have for yourself, it's going to be a little difficult getting there. And there's really no way around it. And it's actually better because when we do have some challenges along the way, it makes us appreciate that destination even more. It makes me think about, how the caterpillar turns into, he spins itself into a cocoon. And once you get into that cocoon, he starts to break himself down and into probably its simplest form. And then it starts to regenerate itself. And it's turning into, something beautiful. And it's going through all of these changes. It's under immense pressure. And it's like, I don't know if you were a kid and, you had a caterpillar and you kept it and you watched it turn into a cocoon and eventually, turn into a butterfly. In the latter stages, as the butterfly is redeveloping or developing, you'll see the cocoon kind of distort and move around, and it makes you think that somebody's in there just trying to break out, but they're just having a time getting out. That struggle, that's what is helping the butterfly strengthen its wings and get ready to take flight. If you cut it open too early, thinking that the butterfly just can't get out and you want to help him out, the butterfly's not going to be able to fly. He'll fall to the ground and eventually die. He'll never achieve his potential. So it has to go through that difficult time. It uses that pressure to help shape it and mold it, and when it comes out, it's just this beautiful creature. For us, I'm taking you down, my roadmap. I'm using my roadmap. I'm taking you down that road, but it is going to be difficult. There are parts of it that will be difficult. There's no way around it. But this roadmap is going to keep you on the path so that you don't fall and get snagged here, snagged there, fall into this hole, or fall into that trap. But those difficult roads are going to help us get to our destination. And not only get there, we'll be able to stay there. And it's very, very important that you don't stop too soon. That you don't come to the point where you say, oh, I got this, and then you quit because you don't want to continue to go down. Or if something gets tough, you're like, hey, I've already got this. I'm about to go out here and do my thing. Because what happens if you do that before you're ready, you're going to fall on your face and your trading career will most likely die. So don't avoid these difficult roads that you're on. You don't want to do that. You want to go through it because that difficult time often leads to a beautiful place, which is success. So just wanted to share that with you. Let's take a look at a trade from today. And I'll talk about yesterday. I didn't get a chance. My schedule was just crazy. I didn't get a chance to print my charts and all of that stuff. And it's frustrating because I use this. This is actually my journal document. You know, when I put in my write-up, when I reflect on my trade, and this slide is part of that journal. And I could always go back and it shows me the time and the price I entered. You know, it's marked on the chart. You know, lets me know the P&L. I got everything I need to go along with the notes that I took during the trade. That's compiled into my journal at the end of the day. So missing yesterday is really tough. But I do have the P&L from yesterday. I did snag that, but didn't think I wouldn't be able to get back and take the picture of the charts. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But this is what I really like to do. This is how I love to trade. This is my goal every day. If I could lock in on one stock intraday and nail the opening range and then come back and catch some trend continuation on it, I'm on cloud nine. And in this case on BURL, we got a nice opening range breakdown here. The stock was on SSR, so my entry wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be, but you know, oftentimes it's going to be impossible to get the best entry if a stock's on SSR and you're trying to short it. So I got in. This was, I know this isn't a level here, but this was a planned exit. Here was a planned exit. Here was a planned exit. And the final target was here. I had my order out. It missed it here. And then I thought we were going to get it. And it didn't get filled here. And I ended up just taking it off, getting stopped out. Look at this candle, how it ran up above the 9. I, you know, honestly thought this thing was going to keep going. So I took it off. And it pulled back, eventually hit my target here. But now I'm looking for a trend continuation. So I watched this during lunch. You know, I was able to watch it and, you know, nail this during lunch. And, oh, I hit my doggone leg. Sorry about that. And I saw it was just consolidating, sitting on this level here. And see, it hit once, twice. This was the third time. We didn't even dip below this. And so I knew, you know, any trend continuation was going to come once we lost that level. And I, you know, knowing that we couldn't push up and we couldn't close above the 9 anymore, I knew at some point this was going to roll over. I just had to be patient. Now, yeah, I could have gotten in here and this trade still would have worked. But this wasn't the ideal time to get in it. You know, I wasn't going to short into this strong support. And obviously it was strong if it hit it multiple times and it couldn't crack it. So, got in as soon as we broke that level. And it kind of traded sideways a little bit. But we weren't pushing up. We were just riding the 9 down. And then we broke free. And again, I covered some here according to plan. This one was a little bit early. Something spooked me on this. It should have been at this level here. But I took it off a little too early. And then this should have been split. I should have taken 25 shares off here and then the rest down here on this level, but I accidentally took it all off here and was all out of the trade, but it actually turned out pretty good, so not complaining about it. But this is, if I could get one of these 2 or 3 times a week, it'd be great. 687, and all we traded 200 share lots. That's it. 200 share lots. And we come out with $687. I mean, not bad. You trading a small account, it's not bad. If you only traded 100 shares of this, $300 is not a bad haul on a smaller account. Not bad at all. And this is what we look for. This is what helps grow our account. Step by step. So BURL was a really nice trade today. Now in the earnings trade, I just I'm sorry. Here's a P&L from yesterday. I lost on every damn thing. URBN, THO, AMBA. This URBN, this was an accident, and I figured out what happened. My smart butt, I had my hotkeys. I gotta use hotkeys for the earnings trades because market orders don't work after market. I have to use limit orders, and it just takes too long to type in the price sometimes. So I just put some, made some hotkeys. And instead of using two keys like Control F1 or Alt F1, I just used F1. So when I was getting out of my car, I accidentally hit one of the hotkeys, and it put me in a position and I didn't even know it. I was looking at URBN for earnings, so I had it up on the screen. I didn't get in it. I didn't really like what it was doing early on, and I thought I could run in the house and trade this thing, but it just didn't work. And messed around, accidentally hit the button, and when I logged in the next day, I was in a position because all I did was I got out of the car. When I came in, I was closing the laptop, never did look at the screen. So I have since changed that. So if you have a one button hotkey, change it. That was the dumbest thing I ever did. But now it's a two key. So I got to hit two keys in order to do it. So that's what happened with this. This was up. I mean, it ran up at the open, and I could have dumped it and made a couple $100. But I didn't. I just said I'm going to play it like I would if I had gotten in this thing. And, of course, it came back, and I had to dump it. THO and AMBA, yesterday was just a struggle. So 298.67 was what I lost. And that's right at my max loss. $300 is my max loss. I didn't know it because this was so crappy I couldn't figure out in my head how much I had lost. This is the only one I could figure out. This one here I could figure out, but this one I had no clue. So I knew I was pretty close. But I managed to keep my losses in check. I could have kept going. I could have dug a hole for myself, and next thing you know, I could have been down $1,000. And today, $900.84 today would not have overcome this, and then Monday's deal. So gotta make sure you manage your risk. So the earnings trade that I took, it sucked. I don't know what else to say about it. I did not manage it correctly. I was looking for this to go down. I posted in there before I left to go pick my son up that I'm looking for this to gap down. And you know, that this price action earlier in the day was really sketchy, but then it pretty much settled itself. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do. And the trade, you know, the price action was where I wanted it to be so that I could, you know, get in this and able to cover here. And this was the next target, not here. I mean, this is like less than a point away, or maybe a point away. This was the next target, and then I was supposed to take some here, and you know, potentially some here, but I didn't manage this right at all. You know, I could only take 100 shares of it, you know, because I started my account over on Friday, and you know, I had that big loss. Not a big loss, but $160 loss on Monday. Had a $300 loss. You know, my buying power was not where it needed to be. Could only take 100 shares of this, and you know, was gonna piece it out quarter by quarter by quarter, but again, I hit the wrong button, and then for some reason I hit it again. You know, I was just out of sorts with this. But we still make money. It goes our direction. But I should have picked up some more money. This should have been easily for, you know, $400 on this. Easy. But just kind of botched it. But that was my day. Even though I didn't end the day like I wanted to, nailing the earnings trade like I should have, but you know, I'll take $900, especially after the week that I've had. I mean, I'll always take this. And not have any issues whatsoever. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for me today. Let's see if we can, you know, close this week out strong. You know, I'm going to come in tomorrow focused and ready to close this week out strong. So looking for some good volatility out of the market. All right guys, so catch you later. We'll see you in the morning.